afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for 3 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, September 27th, 2018. There's something that is pulling me to, it's very important that I read to everybody and understand, this is a different day that we're doing this, but it's higher source. Highly recommended that I read it to all of you before we do a meditation. So this will be a little bit longer call, but not too much longer. Now understand, this is a 70-year-old prophecy, which is actually taking place. This goes hand in hand with what I've been delivering to the audiences out there. And I'll give you at the end, I'll give you who this is that said this. And I'll just go right into it for you. During the passage of time, the consciousness of man traversed a very long period of obscurity. This phase, which the Hindus call Kali Yuga, is on the verge of ending. We find ourselves today at the frontier between two epochs, that of Kali Yuga and that of the new era that we are entering. A gradual improvement is already occurring in the thoughts and sentiments and acts of humans, but everybody will soon be subjugated to divine fire that will purify and prepare them in regards to the new era. Now that divine fire, folks, is in full bloom and has been. Thus man will raise himself to a superior degree of consciousness, indispensable to his entrance to the new life. That is what one understands by ascension. Some decades will pass before this fire will come. Understand this was 70 years ago. That will transform the world by bringing it a new moral. This immense wave comes from cosmic space and will inundate the entire earth. All those that attempt to oppose it will be carried off and transferred elsewhere. Although the inhabitants of this planet do not all find themselves at the same degree of evolution, the new wave will be felt by each one of us. And this transformation will not only touch the earth, but the ensemble of the entire cosmos. The best and only thing that man can do now is to turn towards Prime Source Creator God, improve himself consciously, to elevate his vibratory level so as to find himself in harmony with the powerful wave that will soon submerge him. The fire of which I speak that accompanies the new conditions offered to our planet will rejuvenate, purify, reconstruct everything. The matter will be refined. Your hearts will be liberated from anguish, troubles, incertitude, and they will become luminous. Everything will be improved, elevated. The thoughts, sentiments, and negative acts will be consumed and destroyed. Your present life is a slavery, a heavy prison. Understand your situation and liberate yourself from it. I tell you this, exit from your prison. It is really sorry to see so much misleading, so much suffering, so much incapacity to understand where one's true happiness lies. Everything that is around you will soon collapse and disappear. Nothing will be left of this civilization nor its perversity. The entire earth will be shaken, and no trace will be left of this erroneous culture that maintains men under the yoke of ignorance. Earthquakes are not only mechanical phenomena, their goal is also to awaken the intellect and the heart of humans so that they liberate themselves from their errors and their follies, and that they understand that they are not the only ones in the universe. Our solar system is now traversing a region of the cosmos where a constellation that was destroyed left its mark, its dust. This crossing of a contaminated space is a source of poisoning, not only for the inhabitants of the Earth, but for all the inhabitants of other planets of our galaxy. Only the suns are not affected by the influence of this hostile environment. This region is called the 13th zone. One also calls it the zone of contradictions. Our planet was enclosed in this region for thousands of years, but finally we are approaching the exit of this space of darkness, and we are on the point of attaining a more spiritual region where more evolved beings lived and live. The earth is now following an ascended movement, and everyone should force themselves to harmonize with the currents of the ascension. Those who refuse to subjugate themselves to this orientation will lose the advantage of good conditions that are offered in the future to elevate themselves. They will remain behind in evolution and must wait tens of millions of years for the coming of a new ascension wave. The Earth, the solar system, the universe, all are being put in a new direction under the impulsion of love. Most of you still consider love as a derisory force, but in reality, it is the greatest of all forces. Money and power continue to be venerated as if the course of your life depended upon it. In the future, all will be subjugated to love, and all will serve it. But it is through suffering and difficulties that the consciousness of man will be awakened. The terrible predictions of the prophet Daniel, written in the Bible, relate to the epoch that is opening. There will be floods, hurricanes, fires, earthquakes that will sweep away everything. Blood will flow in abundance. There will be revolutions, terrible explosions, resound in numerous regions of the earth. Now remember, this was 70 years ago. Where there is earth, water will come. Where there is water, earth will come. God is love. Yet we are dealing here with a chastisement, a reply by nature against the crimes perpetrated by man since the night of time against his mother, the earth. After these sufferings, those that will be saved, the elite, will know the golden age, harmony, and unlimited beauty. Thus keep your peace, your faith, when the time comes for suffering and terror, because it is written that not a hair will fall from the head of the just. Not a hair will fall from the head of the just. Don't be discouraged, simply follow your work of personal. Don't be discouraged, simply follow your work of personal perfection. You have no idea of the grandiose future that awaits you. A new earth will soon see day. In a few decades, the work will be less exacting, and each one will have the time to consecrate spiritual, intellectual, artistic activities. The question of rapport between man and woman will be finally resolved in harmony, each one having the possibility of following their aspirations. The relations of couples will be founded on reciprocal respect and esteem. Humans will voyage through the different planes of space and break through intergalactic space. They will study their functioning and will rapidly be able to know the divine world, to fusion with the head of the universe. The new era is that the sixth race, your predestination is to prepare yourself for it, to welcome it, and to live it. The sixth race will build itself around the idea of fraternity. There will be no more conflicts of personal interest. The single aspiration of each one will be to conform himself to the law of love. The sixth race will be that of love. A new contenant will be formed for it. It will emerge from the Pacific so that the Most High can finally establish his place on the planet. The founders of this new civilization, I call them the brothers of humanity, or also children of love. They will be unshakable for the good, and they will represent a new type of men. Men will form a family as a large body, and each people will represent an organ in this body. And the new race, love will manifest in such a perfect manner that today's man can only have a very vague idea. The earth will remain a terrain favorable to struggle, but the forces of darkness will retreat, and the earth will be liberated from them. Humans, seeing that there is no other path, will engage themselves to the path of the new life, that of salvation. In their senseless pride, some will, to the end, hope to continue on earth a life that the divine order condemns, but each one will finish by understanding that the direction of the world doesn't belong to them. A new culture will see the light of day. It will rest on three principal foundations: the elevation of women, the elevation of the meek and humble, and the protection of the rights of man. The light, the good, and justice will triumph. It is just a question of time. The religions should be purified. Each contains a practice, a particle of the teaching of the masters of light, but obscured by the incessant supply of human deviation. All the believers will have to unite and to put themselves in agreement with one principle, that of placing love as the base of all belief, whatever it may be. Love and fraternity, that is the common base. The Earth will soon be swept by extraordinary rapid waves of cosmic electricity. A few decades from now, beings who are bad and lead others astray will not be able to support their intensity. They will thus be absorbed by cosmic fire, and that will consume the bad that they possess. Then they will repent, because it is written that each flesh shall glorify prime source creator God. Our mother, the earth, will get rid of men that don't accept the new life. She will reject them like damaged fruit. They will soon not be able to reincarnate on this planet, criminals included. Only those that possess love in them will remain. There is not any place on earth that is not dirtied with human or animal blood. She must therefore submit to a purification. And it is for this that certain continents will be immersed while others will surface. Men do not suspect to what dangers they are menaced by. They continue to pursue futile objectives, to seek pleasure. And on the contrary, those of the sixth race will be conscious of the dignity of their role and respectful of each other's liberty. They will nourish themselves exclusively from products of the vegetal realm. Their ideas will have the power to circulate freely as the air and the light of our days. The words, "if you are not born again," apply to the sixth race. Read chapter 60 of Isaiah. It relates to the coming of the sixth race and the race of love. After the tribulations, men will cease to sin, will find again the path of virtue. The climate of our planet will be moderated everywhere, and brutal variations will no longer exist. The air will once again become pure. The same for water. The parasites will disappear. Men will remember their previous incarnations, and they will feel the pleasure of noticing that they are finally liberated from their previous condition. In the same manner that one gets rid of the parasites and dead leaves on the vine, so the act evolved beings to prepare men to serve the God of love. They give to them good conditions to grow and to develop themselves. And to those that want to listen to them, they say, "Do not be afraid. Still a little more time and everything will be all right. You are on the good path. May he that wants to enter in the new culture study consciously work and prepare. Thanks to the idea of fraternity, the earth will become a blessed place, and that will not wait. But before, great sufferings will be sent to awaken the consciousness. Sins accumulated for thousands of years must be redeemed. The ardent wave emanating from the Om High will contribute in liquidating the karma of peoples. The liberation can no longer be postponed. Humanity must prepare itself for great trials that are inescapable and are coming to bring an end to the egoism. Under the earth, something extraordinary is preparing itself. A revolution that is grandiose and completely inconceivable will manifest itself soon in nature. God has decided to redress the earth, and he will do it. It is the end of an epoch. A new order will substitute the old, an order in which love will reign on earth. And I felt that that was important to share with everybody on this call, because I have discussed and talked about a lot of these things, a lot. And so that all of you can redress this and look at it on your own time. This was the prophecy of Peter Deneuve regarding the end of our civilization and the beginning of the Golden Age. Also known under the spiritual name of Bensa Duono, the Bulgarian master, Peter Deneuve, 1864 to 1944. He was a being of very high level of consciousness, at the same time an incomparable musician that gave during his whole life an example of purity, wisdom, intelligence, and creativity. For years he was established close to Sofia, where he lived surrounded by numerous disciples. He, by his radiance, awakened the spirituality of thousands of souls in Bulgaria, as well as the rest of Europe. Albert Einstein said of Peter Deneuve, "The whole world bows down before me. I bow down before the master, Peter Deneuve, from Bulgaria." So, in our meditation today, we are going to assist humanity in its liberation and freedom from the bondages of the third dimensional frequency of this world. And as that was 70 years ago, a lot of things have occurred. There's been a lot of fire, there's been a lot of earthquakes, there's been a lot of floods, there's been tsunamis, there's been a lot of things happening on this planet. And as you all know, the shorelines, I've talked about this, the planet, it will change. Gaia is the cleansing process. And this is a liberation of humanity from the third dimensional world. Liberation of humanity from the third dimensional world. So if you will, go to where you will not be interrupted and relax. You all know by now how to relax is just to find a place within yourself where you can just be at ease. And then breathe. As you breathe, you want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you breathe in, you will hold at 1001, 1002, 1003. And as you're breathing in, you're breathing in divine, positive energy. And you're breathing in the understanding of freedom, liberation, happiness, joy, bliss, total eternal love, peace, prosperity, abundance, great wealth, great health, spiritual balance. As you breathe in, all of this is permeating your very existence through Prime Source Creator God. And as you exhale, you are exhaling any weight, any burdens, any obstacles, any challenges that you have not faced, that you turn and face these, and that you embrace them with eternal love, and that you literally walk through them. Your fear drops away. You are energized. Now we will go through the heart center, right through the sternum, your heart mind, and we go in deeper and deeper and deeper. We feel more and more peace, more and more eternal love. We come to an area where we're literally swirling around us and above us is golden white pink light of eternal love, emerald green healing flaming light, and the purple transmuting flame and the violet flame, all swirling around us. We feel imbued with this energy. We look and we see our higher self. We join with our higher selves immediately. Become one. And we're in communication with all our higher selves and all higher selves that have given us permission to communicate. And as we do so, arm in arm, hand in hand, we begin to float up above the planet. And as we do, we call upon all of the light beings of love and from love. All of the light beings in this solar system, in this galaxy, in all galaxies and universes. We call upon all light beings to join us in this meditation. We call upon the archangels, the cherubim, and the seraphim. We call upon them of love and from love, all angels, to join us in this meditation. We call upon the ascended masters to join us in this meditation. We call upon inner earth, hollow earth, to join us in this meditation of love and from love. We call upon all of our loved ones who have passed over, of all lives and existences, to join us of love and from love in this meditation. We call upon the sprites and fairies to join us in this meditation of love and from love. And as we float up, we become the light of the universe. We become the light. And we literally, as we feel these spirits coming in, joining us, we are encapsulated in the golden white pink light, purple transmuting flame, emerald green healing flaming light, and the violet flame. The only thing that can penetrate this sphere is eternal love from Prime Source Creator God. Now we see our sphere, our meditative sphere, flickering and glowing and humming with all the colors, holding all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now we feel the rain coming down on our head, our crown area, crown chakra. We feel the rain saturating all the way down to our feet, inside and out, complete saturation. And the feeling is release. And we feel this release. We feel this energy elevate. We feel liberation. We feel all the muck and the goop leaving us. We feel the bathing of the multicolored light, the golden white pink light, the emerald green flaming healing light, the purple transmuting flame, and the violet flame. We literally are being imbued as we are lifted out of this darkness, of this dismalness, of these stresses, of these fears. We are being lifted out. We watch as all humanity, all inhabitants of the planet are being lifted up. They are elevating. We can see all of the goop and the darkness being burned away as it drops and drips off of them and is vaporized. It is a total cleansing of all humanity, all the inhabitants of the planet. We're witnessing this, and as they come out of the dark, as they come out of the goopiness, this greenish black color, they literally are revitalized and become shining lights. And we watch as they rise, as they levitate and float up as shining lights. And it's just a spectacular sight as we float and watch this happen. We can see it. It is permanent. It is not reversible. It is completely in forward, high energy movement. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll be back to close us out. continue to see those lights almost popping up. And their radiance is far-reaching. We are all together. And this is what's happening on this world. This is what's taking place. And I know that everybody can feel it, because I sense the connection. So reflect on that during the course of the day, because we have major movement, major transition, and it's just absolutely spectacular. It's vibrant, it's healthy, it's pure eternal love, and like I've been saying for so long, we are elevating into a life of eternal love. All the old constructs are going to be just vaporized and gone. There will not be negativity, destruction, manipulation, all of the things that we have been steeped in for so long. It's literally been a hell on earth. We are moving out of that. We're moving out of the destruction and the horribleness. So it's a rejoicing, happy, self-fulfilling prophecy. And we're well on our way. And we will be back here at 3 p.m. Friday, September 28th, 2018. And literally sending you Prime Source Creator God great health, wealth, prosperity, riches, massive riches and abundance, freeness, liberation, happiness, joy, celebration as you elevate and continue to float up.